Hi, it's Dr. Fred. Everything changed today because of one $20 bill, just like this. So I know Tuesday morning transformation, an hour ago, I had no idea what I was going to talk about, but God always has a way of showing you, I guess, what we all need. So I was coming home from the gym, approaching the beach, right on the corner of PCH, the road along the beach, and there was a guy, and he was begging for money with a sign. And so I looked at him. He wasn't looking at me, but I just, when you get that feeling and that urge, like I need to contribute. So I pull out my wallet. I have 2 singles and 2 20s. And I think, should I give him 2 singles? And I'm like, God, that's pretty cheap. And then I went to reach for a 20. I'm like, I don't want to give him a 20. And then I caught myself and I said, am I in scarcity? I mean, like, I'm afraid that if I give him this 20, I'm not going to have another one. And I thought to myself, this voice in my head said, if I go to the bank, I can give him this 20 and I can go to the bank today and get another 20. Can he go to the bank and get another 20? And this voice in my head very strongly said no. And I felt this urge that that's what I was supposed to give him. Now, that's not the amazing part of the story. So I give it to him. He was shocked. And he says, God bless you. Yeah, that felt good because I thought, God's going to bless me for giving this. But we gave it to him because we know that we're already blessed. And then here's the amazing part. He said, my day is done. And he picked up his backpack and practically ran off that island, jaywalked against the crosswalk. And I thought, wow, that's really fascinating, because he was happy with the $20 bill. And as he ran away, I thought, man, you're in Newport Beach. There's probably tons of people that'll give you $20 bills. Right? And I thought, I would have stayed there and said, wow, my day's off to a great start. And I thought, he's surviving. Right? Of course, we say the richest man is the man that needs the least. And I was thinking, he doesn't need very much because he quit at a $20 bill. So maybe he is the richest man. But I thought, he's surviving. And I thought, how many of us in different aspects of our life might be surviving rather than thriving? Are you thriving in your relationship? Are you thriving in your job or career? Are you thriving physically? Are you thriving emotionally? Are you growing spiritually? Where are we thriving? So where does this all start? This is a question from Tony Robbins, UPW. The first most important question is, who am I? So when Moses sat at the burning bush, he said, who shall I say sent me? And God says, I am. Right? That's God's name. I am. Now think about it. Isn't that a trip? I am. Period. There's no ... There's nothing that follows it. It's like, I am. What's that mean? God is. It doesn't mean sometimes he's God, sometimes he's not, sometimes he's powerful, sometimes he's weak. No, it just is. The universe is. It's a law, man. It's a universal, energetic, spiritual law that I am. And if he is in us, then he is and we are. Think about that. So that's why we do I am affirmations, right? We say, I am powerful, I am miraculous, I'm a world-class leader, I'm all these things. Why? Because everything in our life comes from the inside out. So we start with our reference point. That's why people do I am affirmations. Now, we look at A Course in Miracles, and we know this from life coaching. Knowledge is information in our head. Like, we know this. Okay, but why do we have to do affirmations? Because we have to bring back to our mind who we are. Knowledge turns into wisdom through experience. So how do we live? Do we live like that to the point where it's in our body, where we don't have to remind ourselves? Because we already know it's in our physiology, it's in our genes, it's in our nervous system. And that's how we live. Then it's more than just knowledge, it's experience. And it's wisdom. So if we start with that point, from inside out, the System in Healed is an acronym. It starts with H. Honor God within yourself. There's a reason. Because our whole life and every relationship starts with our own identity. So we solidify our identity. That's just step 1. Thriving. That's like surviving, is I am affirmations. Thriving, step 2, is extension. What's that mean? That beingness and knowingness and feeling in our body focuses our mind to extend out, to help others, to contribute, to serve other people, to get our life purpose out and to move forward. Why? Because we already know, we have the faith and confidence in who we are and who God is, and He's directing us, that this is already taken care of. So thriving is extension. It's about caring more about other people, not because you're self-sacrificing, because we know we're already taken care of. And that knowledge and experience in our body keeps us walking in the peace and joy of God. And in the Course in Miracles, it talks about when you know you have peace. If you don't have peace, then you don't know. What's that mean? You forgot, right? That's why we have to remind ourselves. That's why we do I am affirmations. So that's the first step. And then as we extend out, that joy and love extends out. Our service to others extends out. Not to the point where we're self-destructive, but to the point where as we give and we experience what we give, it's replenishing. That's thriving. When we experience the love and joy and we're in joy as we give, it's actually bringing us into thriving with the experience. Anxiety and stress about the future or about your present is survival. Why? Because we forgot that God is already ahead of us. He's already paved the path. Now when we know and we remember and we live it in our body and we extend that God's already paved the path, right? No matter what the conditions look like, that we're going to walk through the valley. We're not building a house in it. So as we walk through it and we know God is ahead of us, then we walk that path with peace and joy and love. So are you surviving? Do we need to remind ourselves? Or are we living it and are we thriving into our soul purpose? Thanks. See you next week.